Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we have started our colonization of Guarani, and we're going to continue to work on that. Of course, we need to get these fertilizer plants and government administration completed, and then we're going to finish up this railway, these gold mines, and then start digging into the development of our coffee plantations. That will be absolutely vital. We have a bunch of transportation shortages. Not shocking in the slightest. We don't have a private construction steel mill going in, which is slightly surprising. We'll be okay with that. And what is our current tax waste? 4.4% and 4.4% government dividends waste as well. So that is understood. Do we want momentum for the Liberal Republican Party? We would prefer the Liberal Republican Party be in control here, but if we have to choose one or the other, we would prefer a higher amount of legitimacy. I don't think it really matters either way. It's going to be fairly contested. But the main problem here, of course, is that we're on landed vote. So I would like to move to, like, census suffrage here. This would radicalize the landowners. Here's a question. Do we care? Let's see what happens after this election. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so we have a new president. The Minas Republican Party wins with 62.3% of the vote. That's not shocking. Our contested government is contested. That's about what we expected. This is, yeah, the best we can do. That is not ideal. So census suffrage would be wonderful. Abraham Lincoln is the one that's pushing this. So I mean, I really do want to do this. We have a defensive pact with Britain, right? If there's a civil war, Britain should defend us. That seems fine. I'm going to get started on this. The landowners are going to be very angry. No doubt about that. They're going to be incredibly angry. So that's not going to be, fantastic. We are going to want an additional government administration, it looks like, and let's put that also into Minas Gerais. And I want to build that, I think, after this railway, but before the gold mines. So something like this. That'll be fine. We'll just slap that in there, and let's see how census suffrage goes here. I would absolutely love to do this. This will help gut the power of the landowners, which would be amazing. They're at 8.3% clout right now. That's not too bad, but we would love to continue to drop that. I'm not currently seeing a revolution or even a political movement to stop this as of yet. I'm sure there will be one. But that's very interesting. Homesteading would be 172k. This would be 238k loyalty. Sure. That's not too bad. So we're going to continue to colonize Guarani for now. We do want to attack Argentina and Uruguay. We probably shouldn't do that while we have radicalized landowners, just in case. So for the time being, we're not going to go after that. And we're just going to work on some of these deficits that we've got going on at this moment. So that seems okay. We're definitely making some colonization progress over here. I like it. And we have finished up one of those government administrations. So our fertilizer plants, which we don't currently have an input shortage of, but that will be good. Okay, there's that preserved landing movement. It's not actually becoming a revolution. I think they're not strong enough. So that is a good sign. The fertilizer plant is 13 weeks out, and then the railway behind that is 7 weeks out. So that looks very good. This government administration should finish fairly quickly, and then these gold mines should finish extremely quickly. So that looks great. I do wish Paradox would issue a patch to fix this issue. I have noticed that this actually seems to affect things, by the way. It doesn't seem to build the one that is currently blanked out like this. So it's kind of weird. No doubt about that. So we're at minus 5k at this moment. That's not too bad for a deficit. I do want to get that deficit gotten rid of, but it's not the highest priority in the world. We do need to get these transportation input goods shortages dealt with. I would like to deal with grain. Ah, we moved up to study on census suffrage already. That is a good sign. So the railway in Piranha is going to be done, like, now. Excellent. That is absolutely wonderful. And that, of course, means that we're now working on this government administration. That is only 37 weeks away, only. But it's going to definitely go a little faster than that. We're going to finish this up, and then we're going to, like, 1.5 times this? Or no. Yeah, plus 1.5x. So that'll be fine. So a mine in Rio Grande do Sul collapsed, and it's a small price to pay for the March of Industry, I'm sure. Radicalism is going to be a bit of an issue, but for now this is fine. So it seems like the landed voting movement here isn't going to be too bad. That is indeed what that seems like. Let's finish this fertilizer plant and get that government administration going. I want to know how long it's going to be before that government administration starts up. 2.8, okay. We're positive here, but that's a lie. Don't believe that. On the next update, it'll change. Yeah, there we go. That's a little more like it. But these gold mines will finish up quite quickly. I'd like to think about attacking Uruguay. So this would be 9.1 infamy. We're at 0 infamy right now. Let's, I think, do this. There is this prediction here, though, with New Granada. So New Granada, we did start improving relations with. I'm pretty sure. Yes, we're actively improving relations here. So what is our current relations at? Well, we're currently neutral. They are antagonistic towards us. So that's probably not going to change matters all that much. Neutral +2, improving relations by 1 every 14 days. Okay. Well, for the time being, I think this is reasonably fine. We do need to handle our bureaucracy situation, and our institutions are not exactly where we'd like them to be either. I would very much like to start increasing our law enforcement. Colonial affairs, I'm not too concerned about. But law enforcement would be a very useful thing. So, for the moment, we're 3 weeks away from this gold mine. Then this gold mine is barely being worked on. That'll be done fairly quickly, though, to be honest. So that seems fine. Out of curiosity, I would like to get another company, or maybe getting rid of Bahia Metals. They're not getting productivity right now. Let's disband them. And let's instead make the Combined Brazilian Plantation Society, I think. So this will give us colony growth speed, but this is currently 2.9 productivity, which isn't great, but that's going to go up quite a lot. We know we're going to build coffee plantations. So let's get a company going for our plantations. We do have a cotton plantation going right now. I'm wondering, can we see the construction efficiency of this? It's out over here. Okay. Yep, we're getting a 30% company construction bonus. Great. That is really, really excellent. So we're going to continue to build these gold mines, and then we're going to get the coffee plantations going. There's a trade route exporting coffee that is expiring. We should probably get rid of all of these trade routes for the time being. That seems fine. Okay, 13 weeks away on the gold mines in Minas Gerais, and it's actually going to be a little closer than that. That's not too bad. Minus 16.4k, though, is certainly rough on our finances right now. So that is noted. A fair amount of that is actually interest. And keep in mind, we would probably want to raise our military wages as well. The old authority, huh? Okay, so we hit a stall here. We'll oust them. That'll be fine. I'm sure there's not going to be any problems whatsoever with this radicalism. None at all. Amazing. So that is all fine for the time being. We're now working on just these gold mines. We are at most 16 weeks away from them. In fact, we are 15 weeks away. That sounds good. So this coffee plantation is building very slowly right now. We're not putting much into that. That is absolutely fine. We do want to certainly consider increasing our amount of buy orders for coffee within the Brazilian market. So how do we go about doing that? How do we raise the demand for coffee in our own market? Well, for one thing, we could just have more people. Do people consume coffee? Let's go in here. So what are their pop needs? This doesn't actually say. Excellent. Well, we can see that we do not have much for buy orders for coffee right now, I don't think. It's mostly kind of tea is what people are drinking. Which isn't amazing. That's for sure. Okay, Peru started an export route for iron. We do want to export coffee. That would be a good thing to do. And to a certain extent, we're going to have to do that ourselves. But to a certain extent, also, other people will have to decide to export it too. So that's fine. These coffee plantations are going to build very quickly. So I'm not too concerned about that. We'll get this gold mine done soon enough. We're at 7.6 million GDP at this moment. That's understood. And I want to check through here to see if there's anything we want to do here. So craftsman sewing is an option. Luxury clothes is just going to swap around luxury and regular clothes. I don't really want to do that right now. Water tube boilers for furniture manufactories is okay. We can do that. Do we want to go down to crystal glass? We would need additional lead. We do have some lead production, correct? Resources. Lead mines. We do, in Rio Grande do Sul, and it's not very populated at this moment. So I think going down to crystal glass is actually fine. Our lead production will come up from that, so that seems okay. Paper mills can go to water tube boilers, and we might have a few production issues from that. We'll have to wait for good substitution to see how all of that shakes out. Okay, this is fine for the moment. We still don't have any sulfur mines, so that is understood. Do we want to have public trams in our urban areas? Well, we're going to need a lot more transportation. That's actually not necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to do it. Yes, Sao Paulo is going to have some issues, but that's fine. I'm also going to go to gas streetlights, and we're going to get some additional coal usage there. That's understood. We'll see how that's going. Do we want wooden passenger carriages here? Honestly, that wouldn't be a bad thing, I don't think. So that's going to help a lot of this transportation shortage. Let's see what that looks like as the goods production sorts itself out. Okay. So that should help matters in theory. I do want to think about railways. So Santa Catarina is not one that has a transportation shortage, is it? Oh, it does. Okay. Let's move that up. Okay. Does Sao Paulo? No. So I'm going to actually cancel the railway in Sao Paulo. What about Rio de Janeiro? No. So we'll cancel that one. Pernambuco? Yes. Let's move that up. Rio Grande do Norte, that is not in this list. We'll cancel that one. And then this is one that does require a railway, as is this. So we'll move that guy up. Mato Grosso is also one that requires a railway. And then we've got Para here. That requires a railway. What about Amazonas? No, that does not. And Acre? No. Santa Cruz? No. And Bajo Paraguay? Yes, that one does. So that's fine. We'll move all of these up. We do have a number of these that are reduced construction efficiency, and they're going to be very, very low construction efficiency. So I'm going to reverse these a little bit. Essentially just doing something like this. And then as before, we're going to intersperse in coffee plantations. something about like this. I'd like to get some coffee plantation production done, but I still want to be working fairly heavily on these railways. So we're going to move these up like that. Okay. Primary construction is remaining on the railways for the time being. We do want to handle our input goods shortages. We do have an engines shortage and a lead shortage. Now, the lead shortage might get dealt with. We can check in here. Yeah, so we're not currently hiring due to laborers on the maize farm. We have a lack of labor here. Okay, let's check Rio Grande do Sul. Is that true that we have a lack of labor here? We have 1.36k peasants and 10.1k working adults looking for a new job, but I think they're lacking qualifications. So that is understood. We may want to build a lead mine in another location, such as Minas Gerais. And also, I want to check in on the status of our motor industry, because our motor industry is struggling to meet demand at this moment. Yeah, this is pretty much maximized, so getting a motor industry here as top priority seems good. So we'll do a motor industry and a lead mine, and then we'll get into all of this. Dissenters have broken ranks here. We'll take another setback. That is 2 setbacks in a row there. That is unfortunate. We would very much like to get census suffrage done, though. Okay, so what do we have for overall unemployment right now? 1K, and we have 410,000 peasants still. We can definitely work through that, but that's going to take some time. Understood. So the lead mine is going to be done in 12 weeks. Getting that lead... Well, we don't have a lead input goods shortage anymore, but I'm still going to get this lead mine in Minas Gerais done, just to make sure. And that engines shortage absolutely needs to get dealt with. We have a big deficit right now. A very big deficit, in fact. And we do need to handle that. So our GDP coming up would be very good. Belgium has sided with Great Britain in the diplomatic play against fascist Great Britain. Okay, well, I wish them luck with that endeavor. That's going to be an interesting one for sure. We're still colonizing and expanding over here, of course. We may want to consider attacking Uruguay or Argentina, but I don't think that that's a really great idea. Who would actually hypothetically defend Argentina? No one. Okay. Noted. So that seems good. Our lead mines are going to be done in 5 weeks here. That will help matters a little bit. And then our motor industry, 22 weeks away from that. And this is going to take a while to get all of this done. Now, this revolution has started here and immediately dropped down to 36 radicalism. And went away. Okay, that was exciting. Good job, guys. That was a great revolution. It was, short. There's that. So that's wonderful. We do want to integrate the Solistas, and I think the main problem here is we need to conquer this territory here from Argentina. I think that's what needs to happen there. I would very much like to fight Argentina. They are very, very small, actually, in terms of their military. And if no one would defend them, this should be a pretty easy thing to do. Interesting. Okay, so what state is it that we actually need here? That's something I want to check. So the actual state that we need is a Sulista homeland, right? So we need to go to here, and we need to check their homeland. So it is Corrientes. Okay, so we would be looking for this as the primary. We'll confirm that. And let's get started on it. I do want to send this army. I don't think we'll have to mobilize any other armies. So we'll mobilize these guys, send them over to the front. And that should be okay. We have a couple of events here. So political migration. Minus 10%. Are we planning our standard of living to go down? Not really. Let's take the prestige. That'll be okay. Brazilian relations towards Argentina, huh? The Catholic Church is, like, they're also Catholics. No, we're going to get some intelligentsia opinion instead. Industrialists would join the British Society? Sure. That seems okay. Wonderful. So, obviously, our deficit is a little bit of a problem. And I am going to go after more Argentinian territory here, for sure. That's 100% going to happen. What are our odds here? Wow, 6.1% on debate, and we've hit that twice. Or actually, no, we hit stall twice. Even so, that's only a 24% chance. We have a 68, actually 69% chance. Nice. A 69% chance of a good event here. And we got a bad one 2 in a row. So we'll see what happens here. Yeah, here's an advance. Okay, so that's a good one. 10% enactment success chance? Sure. That comes out of the debate primarily, and the stall chance remains approximately the same. So that is noted. Okay, so we finished that lead mine. The motor industry is going to be done in 8 weeks. Are we still running that input goods shortage? We are indeed. So that is noted. And the railway in Pernambuco is going to be 24 weeks out. We are working on all 8 of these railroads at this point. I'm pretty sure anyway. We have a low training rate because of our military wages, and that's probably fine. For the moment, due to our deficit, I don't want to raise our military wages, so the low training rate is, I think, okay. We do see the Peruvian army on their way down, and that should mean that we don't need to do anything else over here. So we should be completely okay on this military front. That said, oh, we're in the countdown to war. Whoops! I intended to add additional war goals here. Okay, it's fine. We'll go after Argentina again later. We'll just have to go after Uruguay a little bit later, or Bolivia, perhaps. We could probably go after Bolivia. We just don't want to be at 0 infamy, right? So that'll be relatively fine. We are arriving over here. We are winning this offensive action, so that should be good. Okay. So that looks fine. We're immediately moving as well. Okay, here we are. And this battle was still happening the whole time. So the trade route exporting, yeah, that's from Argentina. Sure. We'll get rid of that. I did intend to claim more territory from Argentina than just this, but I guess this will do. So the question is, when are they going to be willing to give this up? The answer is not yet, and that is understood. Okay, so we're building a couple of railways simultaneously now because, of course, our coffee plantations, they don't take nearly as long to build. I'm going to move this coffee plantation up and put it in between these, so that'll be fine. So this war will be over very quickly, and that's okay. We'll get Corrientes, but it's not ideal, right? And then as far as the rest of this integration goes, we need to complete the River of Coffee entry, which we're working on. We are absolutely working on. So we'll get a bunch of coffee plantations built. That seems fine. So very soon, they're going to be willing to give this up. They're at minus 230 reasons right now. They'll get over it. So that seems fine. I think we do want to attack Bolivia next. Just conquer states. So no return states over here. Noted. Well, that's reasonably fine. So let's see what happens with census suffrage here. 45% chance of success, and we hit a stall. Of course we did. The bill will be passed when the process is completed. Okay. Power of the purse has been unlocked, which is, you know, neat. And we did cross 8 million GDP, so that is something. Wonderful. So the railway is going to be done in 2 weeks here. I'm not going to move up another coffee plantation just yet. We'll just let this be. Wonderful. So that railway finishes, which means we do have a new transportation shortage in Rio de Janeiro. Noted. So where is that? That is down here. We'll just slot that in right up at the top, because we don't have a railway in Rio de Janeiro right now. So that is fine. We'll get going on that. We'll need to get all of those done, of course. So at this point, Argentina is not yet willing to accept this peace deal. They're 8 reasons away. I do wish that I had gotten back to this a little bit quicker. I didn't expect it to be quite that far along. But we'll propose this peace deal. And there we go. Beautiful. So this territory is now ours, and the turmoil there is quite high. We're going to need to let that turmoil drop. We'll need to let the devastation drop, and that is all okay. We may want to consider doing violent suppression here. This is going to reduce state penalties from turmoil, but it's not going to reduce the actual turmoil. So that is understood. Turmoil is going to need to go down here. And we want to be targeting the... Where are they? The Solista. They're not discriminated against at this moment. So these are their homelands. Right here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we can see this is... It doesn't have turmoil. This doesn't have turmoil. This doesn't have turmoil. This does. So we have to wait for this turmoil to drop. Then we'll get that integrated. What's the current state over here? So, okay. Noted. Insignificant peasants and unemployment. And pretty decent standards of living. So that is definitely going to be interesting to get that integrated. But once it's incorporated in 5 years here, that should be fine. So we're working on the River of Coffee. That is one of our big projects at the moment. And I do want to move up this coffee plantation up to the top, and we'll just slot it in right here. Looks good. We're just continuing to work half and half-ish on railways and coffee. So that'll be fine for now. It is, of course, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, they established the colony of Buenos Aires. They're colonizing Mapuche. Okay. We'll get down there. That's fine. It is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're probably going to end up fighting Bolivia, is my guess. But we do need to handle this deficit situation. This is definitely becoming a bit of a problem for us. Interest payments are beginning to pile up. So that is certainly something that we need to consider. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Tommy Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.